Here's the big thing around money. You've got to understand that you're never going to attract more than you believe. And this is why I talk about, do you truly believe, and are you willing to get playful with the word unlimited?
Hello and welcome to another awesome episode of Support Sister. I am your host, Anya Day. Join me as I interview my mentor, Jeff Cloud, an author and life coach. We'll be talking about breaking out of the old 3D matrix system and waking up in the dream. This was such a powerful discussion, and I hope you get some really great aha moments from it. And we're live!
All right. Hi.
Hello.
Are you excited?
Very excited. I've been looking forward to having you as a live guest.
Oh,
So yeah. So this has been epic. And I've been watching your lives too. So I'm like, it's going to be great. It's going to be great.
I'm excited. It's one of the most incredible times in history ever. And we came here for this. Do you want to start us off?
Okay. So hello, people. Hello, world. This is my mentor, Jeff Cloud. I wanted to give a special introduction to Jeff Cloud. Just a quick background, Jeff is an acclaimed author, rapid transformation mentor, healing facilitator, relationship specialist, and a renowned practitioner of Toltec and shamanic traditions. His mission and passion is to assist others in breaking free of limiting beliefs, childhood conditioning, and inner conflicts that keep them from experiencing true freedom in life. And Jeff is also the author of Waking Up in the Dream, a miraculous and groundbreaking book that provides a step-by-step guide for your awakening, healing, and self-empowerment journey. And he's also the creator and facilitator behind the popular Waking Up in the Dream transformational online experience and the Global Activation Tribe. Woo!
Wow, that's a mouthful. Thank you for hosting me. I greatly appreciate it. And I'm loving watching you shine out there with your audience and getting that going. And that's great. How incredible is this to be able to connect with the entire world? I mean, it's what has allowed so many people to wake up, so many people to get information, aside from the television, which is just 100% lies and fear 24/7. And so, I'm all the way in Thailand right now. I'm actually in the future because it's the 23rd here. I think it's Thursday, and it's like
4th Thursday.
24th. Yeah, it's the 24th here. Oh my God. And it's just a little bit after noon here. So that would mean that it's midnight on the East Coast in the USA. Mm-hmm. And, I'm talking into a $10 plastic box here, and I'm not even plugged into the wall, and it's crystal clear. And this is how I connect with people all over the world. This is how we connect with people all over the world. So it's just such an incredible time right now. And I'm just excited to share and whatever tools I can to uplift and inspire people. And also, if anybody out there is having challenges from the lockdown, or, there's a lot of intense stuff happening right now, but I just want to really convey with everybody that it's all coming up to awaken the masses. The light has already won, and we're going to see so many incredible things exposed. I mean, I already have seen it in the last 4 years since I've been following the underground military operation and stuff. But, a lot of people don't know where to go to get their access and their information, but they're seeking it. And something for a lot of them tells them that they're lying about this whole pandemic and everything. And yeah, they are. So, the thing is, as I talk about, in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, is to become the conscious observer and don't be the automatic reactor, because that's what they want to do. That's what pulls people back down and keeps them spinning in 3D timelines. And so we have this incredible opportunity to align with like-minded people. The information's here. And, you're doing lives. I'm doing lives every Monday and Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. And there's just no shortage of information. And people to align with, to mirror each other and to hold each other in safe space, and to go in and dismantle these programs of fear, doubt, lack, worry, whatever it is, and really create incredible shifts. So such an amazing time.
Yeah. I was taking a shower like a week ago, and I was like, 5D is like happening through the internet. Like that is like
shower like a week ago too.
But I was just thinking, it was like a shower thought. I was like, 5D is happening through the internet, and it's like seeping through and like connecting everyone like through this one consciousness, and like having everyone wake up through the internet and how powerful the internet is. And it was just so amazing. And I wouldn't have been on Facebook or anything if it wasn't for you. So truly, thank you for putting me on here. Like, this has been such a cool community to like connect with like-minded people, and I never thought that that would be true.
Thank you for bringing that up, and I'm really grateful to Facebook. And,
yeah,
they've blocked a lot of really amazing people. They've deleted their accounts and stuff. But here's the key: you do not go into hatred or judgment about anybody, or you're holding that frequency. So I'm actually loving Facebook. Zuckerberg, Soros, they're going to be taken down if they haven't already. But it's the framework of Facebook. People go, well, I'm going to go to MeWe and I'm going to go to Parler. And no, the game has been won here on Facebook. This is where the game changers are. You can try and jump to another platform, but chances are they can be taken over and manipulated. And, this is where it happens. And so I'm really super grateful, because I've connected with a global community in like 17 different countries or something. The countries speak English, and I speak very little Thai, Nit Noi, and I speak a little bit of muy poquito Espanol, and a tiny bit of parlez-vous français. But other than that, it's pretty much, English speaking countries. But it's just been so incredible to utilize this platform. So what do you want to dive into?
All right. So my first question for you is, could you share the 5 simple words that like people can use to positively transform every experience in life?
Sure. This is a really good one, and I'll get into the belief system and how judgments work and how they just keep magnetizing more everything we judge. And this is so key, because first of all, do you have your settings set to public where everybody can see this? Okay.
We got 3 people in the house. We got David in the house leaving comments. I think my girl Villy is watching, and Edric is watching.
I can't see any of the comments or anything. It's strange. Okay, so I'll just roll with it. So when I met my main mentor, everybody's my teacher. Everybody's teacher, especially the people that we judge and that trigger us. But the key is to get that. Otherwise, we end up projecting that out there people are doing things to us, and we keep attracting that. We keep magnetizing it. Now, in some cases, people might physically abuse you or something. If that's the case, then get out of the relationship, get out of the situation. I'm talking about words and information or disinformation. And so when I talk about in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, about 5 of the most powerful words, it's one of the processes that I take people through when I take them on the 30 or 60 or 90-day transformational journey. It's every time we have a judgment or a trigger, it's about us. But so many people go, no, it's about you. You're doing this to me. And so therefore, think of it this way. This is really, really key. Every single thought, every single word, and the emotion that we put behind that is a magnet. And so in this quantum field vibrating hologram that we call our life, it's our thoughts and our words and the energy, emotion that we put behind that is attracting to us everything in our life. Relationships, money or lack of money. I grew up with lack of money around money my entire life. It was a huge program downloaded from my mom when my dad died. I was very young. And my uncle, he had eight kids, and it was, it was tough. And then I was in Catholic school, and the programming of that was intense and fear-based and judgmental all day, all the time. So the 5 words that are so key. First, to get out of 3D and to really awaken, you can say you're awake if you can see that, okay, the government lies, science is fake, history is pretty much fake, the pharmaceutical industry is poison. You know, yeah, that's opening the door. But it's really to really awaken and begin to understand that you are creating your reality, and you are creating your reality with every thought and every word. Now, that's whether you're conscious of them or not. So if you listen to guys like Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, or Greg Braden, some of the cutting edge guys around quantum science and physics and stuff, it's really important to understand that every day there's like 50 to 80,000 thoughts they're running, and they're just recycling. And about 80% of those thoughts are negative. So when you think about every thought as a magnet, and most people are running around judging, well, not most, I don't want to use that word, many people, our words are very powerful. Many people are running around, and judgment's the biggest addiction on the planet by far. It's not drugs, it's not alcohol, it's judgment. But we have to become 100% responsible for what we're projecting. And we can't blame it on other people, or we're just going to recycle in 3D over and over and over and over. And so that's why I do this journey, because it's so life-changing. You know, before I met my mentor, Don Miguel Ruiz, who wrote the 4 Agreements and the Mastery of Love and Beyond Fear and the Voice of Knowledge, I was, in my 20s, mid 30s. I was living in my recording studio because I had done my best to unplug from the 9 to 5 job thing, because everyone that I went to, I got injured at. I got carpal tunnel being a graphic artist. You had quotas every day of how many ads. I mean, the whole system is set to basically suck as much out of you and then pit you against, in many cases, the other people in the office. And it's a program, very much so. And so after I got injured a couple times, I was like, I'm only going to do what I love. I'm only going to do what I love, even if I have to sleep on a park bench. And I didn't think it would come to that, but I made that commitment. And so I ended up moving into a very small building in San Diego, and I started a recording studio. And I slept on a mattress every night for 17 years, but I loved it. I would flip the mattress up against the wall. I'd put a beautiful tapestry like this in front of it with guitar cases. And I had a sacred altar in my studio with crystals and candles. I had a mirror ball. I had black lights. I had fog machines. And I just built up my gear from 1 microphone to 2 microphones to 12 microphones, small mixing board to a bigger mixing board to a 40 input channel mixing board, guitar amps, tube amps, guitars. I mean, I just kept putting all my money back into the studio and doing what I loved. And then I met Miguel in 2001. And back then, I was partying pretty heavily, smoking weed and drinking beer was almost an everyday thing. Being, in the recording thing in the music industry, and my hair was down to my waist. And, I was having a great time. But as far as understanding that your thoughts and your words create your reality, I didn't really know that. I had read some books and I was like, be positive, and that's all great. And so what ended up happening is I ended up started to buy all the top spiritual books: Neil Donald Walsh, Wayne Dyer, Eckhart Tolle, Think and Grow Rich, The Law of One, The Secret, all that stuff. And what I would do is, my girlfriend and I at the time, in the early 2000s, we would just gobble that stuff up. Yeah, that sounds great. That sounds great. That sounds great. And then we'd go buy the next book. But nothing was really changing for me. Here's the whole key. It's the underlying subconscious beliefs that we take on when we're children, that if we do not go in and dismantle those and heal any of those wounds, then they're just going to run, and we're going to up until 2 years ago, I never manifested a lot of money. I mean, I was okay in my studio and I did pretty well. I've recorded people from all over the world and I've had a great time. But as far as money, and that's the biggest lack program on the planet. Everything is about, you need this, but money's hard. They just keep funneling it on people because that's how they control everybody. Yeah. Through hijacking the money system, through, I could go deep down the rabbit hole, but let's keep it just super positive right now and focused on what are we creating with our thoughts and our words, and are we consciously, intentionally creating our day every morning before those 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running? And then do we come back and check in with ourselves throughout the day? You've gone through the journey. I have people set 15 alarms on their phone that go off every hour during the day. And it's just like tapping you on the shoulder. Where are you right now? Where's your frequency? Are you focused on gratitude? Are you pumped up? Are you doing what you love? Or are you in fear? Are you in doubt? Are you angry? And that's how I was. I was spinning through that up until my mid 30s. And then I met Miguel. And here was probably one of my biggest life-changing aha moments. The beautiful thing about Miguel is, in order to be in the monthly dreaming groups, these were groups that met once a month in San Diego. And I was so lucky because my recording studio was right down the street from the Dreaming Center. And there were other people that flew in from Florida, New York, Massachusetts, and they had to pay $700 to $1,000 to fly in, rent a hotel, stay for Thursday through Sunday. And we would do 3-day dreaming weekends every month. We would lock in to the dreaming, it was called the Dreaming Building. And we would lock in on Friday afternoon or evening, and we would stay there all weekend. And the only time we would leave is when we'd go to breakfast, lunch, or dinner. And then Miguel would talk, and we would get into these mirroring sessions. And so those weekends were usually, 30, 40, 50 hours long. And the smart thing that Miguel did, which really challenged me in the beginning, he said, if you want to be part of the group, you have to commit to 1 year. And back then in 2001, it was $333 a month. I'm living in my studio, and I don't know where my next client's going to come from. I don't know how much money I'm going to make. Nothing. So it brought up a lot of fear for me. And I remember one of my female friends, she said, just go for it, man. You'll make it happen. And I made the decision to do it. And guess what? Once I made the decision, the money showed up every single month. Not only did the money show up every single month, but even better, I ended up becoming Miguel's recording engineer for almost 15 years. I did radio shows in my studio with him and his family. I recorded all the big events he did, yearly. And so then I was only paying half of the $333. So the point is, what he did was he got me to stretch my belief system, because my programming was fear. I don't know how to manifest more money. So this is key. And so what he did was he had us write down in a journal all of our beliefs. And so I'm writing them down, and all of a sudden I'm like, the light bulb just went off. I'm like, none of these beliefs are even mine. None of them. Nobody's beliefs are theirs. Except I kept 2 beliefs. Love is the answer in every situation. And we are unlimited beings. But many people, in fact, I would even be so bold as to say most people, even though they would say, yeah, we're unlimited beings, we're all love and light and light. I don't see that many people currently. And this is why I love to journey with people, because I completely get them to dismantle and crush their belief system. And then they just start creating from a what if, unlimited. So what I saw happen was my belief system was all about lack around money. It was all guilt from the Catholic Church. It was judgment every day. These angry nuns that were like 75 years, I never used the word OLD. And the reason why is because we have 1 trillion cells inside our body, and they're consciously aware, and they're listening to every single thought and every single word that we say, whether we're consciously aware or not. So you never want to use the word OLD. You don't want to use the word WORK. We don't want to use words like wish, hope. Those are weak words. I wish, I hope. They might be with good intentions. Oh, I wish you feel better. No, I intend you feel amazing. Words are very powerful. That's why it's called spelling.
Casting spells. Sorry.
And it's deep. And you must be able to see a program in order to dismantle it. Otherwise, the ego will just defend it because it's part of the belief system. And until you see that your belief system isn't even yours, but everybody's defending it, and any information that comes in that goes against the belief system, what happens to them? They get triggered and they go into judgment, which is the biggest addiction on the planet. And everything you judge, you're magnetizing more of it to you. And I was a judgeaholic. I was taught to be a judgeaholic because I was in Catholic school. And me and my buddy, my best friend, we were straight A and B students. We were soccer stars. We rocked it. But we triggered the nuns because we were like, even in second grade, I didn't know the first thing about conscious awareness, but I knew that whole Catholic thing, it was BS. Yeah. It was not love. Those nuns were pissed off, and I could feel the frequency, even though I didn't know what conscious awareness was. I didn't understand that your thoughts and your words and the emotion that we put behind them are magnets, and they're creating our reality. Mm-hmm. So this is so, so key, and this is a huge part of what I put in the book, Waking Up in the Dream, which is available now through through New Year's at half price at my website. You can download it instantly, portaltoawakening.com. I never planned on writing a book ever. My friend, I wrote this stuff down for me to remind myself so I would never forget, because the programs run deep and we've got to go in and dismantle them. And it's really pretty easy once you're willing to go, okay, yeah, I got programs. I get triggered. I get upset. I use words that I probably shouldn't use. I project things. I talk about other people. I say that the reason why I'm not happy is because of things outside of me. You've got to be able to see that. But what's so powerful about the three-dimensional matrix, most people have it backwards. They think that what's out there is doing things to them, but it's actually 180 degrees the opposite. What's out there is just mirroring back to you all the frequencies that we're holding, and then all the frequencies that the collective is holding. Because whenever I talk about this, I want to make it really clear that if you see a pedophile out there, somebody that's truly harming people, that doesn't mean that you're holding that frequency, but those people are playing their role to wake people up. So one of the big things that I got, and I'll finish with this because I know that was a lot, and if anybody has questions, I'd love for them to pop them in, because I've heard Jeff talk, but when I do my weekly lives, it's like I want people to ask questions, because it opens up opportunities for mirroring and for people to go, oh, I just got that piece. Because I heard my teacher, Miguel, I heard him say things 100 times. And when it went into my head, I went, yeah, that makes sense. Mm-hmm. But I was still running the fear-based program and the judgments underneath. And no matter how many books I read, it didn't change it. So part of the transformational waking up in the journey that I take people through one-on-one is, as you know, the first part is healing. We've got to heal the wounded child, if the child's wounded or angry about anything, because when we're a child, our parents do our best, and our grandparents and whoever raised us, but they're running their own programs. Mm. And so they're just doing their best. And we had a soul contract with them. But we take on all this programming and it becomes our operating system, and we don't know any better. And, this is why it's so important that kids start to learn the tools in the book. And I'm in the process of writing the version for children and for parents, because when children learn in the first grade how to process their emotions, and they understand what a trigger is and how judgments are about them, they can lead a completely different life. I mean, the kids that are coming into the planet now are switched on with more DNA, more conscious awareness. And we came here for this. The whole game's changing. So it's very exciting, and it's very, very key to see what the belief system is, to see what a trigger is, and to understand. And if you want to really awaken, you must see that every one of your judgments is about you. There's no wiggling out of it. There's no going around it. You know, I see a lot of people that claim that they're light workers, and they're playing with their crystals and their organite things. And I love to do that too. But you have to go in and do the inner healing, which involves forgiving yourself and forgiving every single other person that you think did anything to you, because it was a soul contract. And when you start to come from that level of awareness, everything begins to shift.
Yeah. So we got a comment, Villy asking, I know you just mentioned forgiving, but she was asking, how do you heal yourself? So would you say forgiving is one of the methods? Is there something else that we can give a tip to for people to continue on the process of healing?
Forgiveness is super key. It's usually the root. When somebody gets on a call with me and they tell me what they're trying to change or whatever, within like 3 minutes, I can go right to, I'm just trained to do it for so long, to listen to somebody's story, and I know right where to go. So then I'm like, okay, are you ready to clear that? And they always say yes. But interestingly enough, sometimes they're not. The ego just doesn't want to forgive somebody for doing something. And I'm like, if there was a burning rock in your hand, which that's what the energy is, it's pulling you down and keeping you in 3D, wouldn't you want to release that?
Yeah.
And so there's a couple different ways to do it. You can forgive them, and you can thank them and go, oh, we had a soul contract. And this might trigger some people, because I work with people that have been really, really gone through some intense stuff like I did when I was a child. So I journey with people that have been raped, have been abused heavily sexually, have had people murdered in their family. So I'm not going to tell them to thank the person that did that, but most everybody is our teacher, and we had a soul contract. So even if you can't imagine that you might have had a soul contract, we don't know. We don't remember all this stuff. And if something happened, you've just got to come to terms with it, that it happened for a reason, even if you can't explain it in logical terms. We're infinite beings, so it's very possible at one time or another, we've all been murderers, thieves, possibly rapists. I know nobody wants to think about that, but let's look at how we're all one and we're all connected, and everything's a mirror. At least be open to this. Be open, because if you're closed-minded and you're like, nope, you're going to stay stuck, and you are never going to evolve out of this in this lifetime. I'm telling you, I tried to do it. I tried to go around every which way. There is no way other than 100% forgiveness, and then really key to forgive yourself. I did a lot of stupid stuff when I was younger. I hurt people, not like really physically, but with my words and my own wounds. And I was triggered, and, then drinking alcohol and being stupid, and, just a lot of stupid stuff that we do. But now I understand it, and I've cleared this stuff with people, and, so it's really, really key. So I intend that has answered the question. If there's another question, she can follow up with that. But there's a process in the book, and there's no fluff. It's not a big, thick book. Look, it's tiny. It tells you the step-by-step process to go in and heal, and to go in and begin to track every single thought, word, judgment, trigger. Because if you don't, I guarantee you the programs are running you, and they're recycling, and the ego is justifying why that person is a jerk or this, and here's the trick. Here's how they set it up in 3D to get you and to keep you stuck. Now, first of all, they hijacked our DNA.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not currently yet have all our DNA activated, so we don't remember everything.
Mm-hmm.
But that is amplifying now, and we're more coming online day by day with the energies that are coming into the planet. But we've also got to do the inner journeying. Notice I didn't use the word WORK. It popped in, but I've trained myself to feel the frequency of that so I can feel it before I say it. Once in a while, one gets past me, but I'll go in and catch it immediately and I'll retract it. And the more that we do that, the more that we dismantle these automatics. So the key is to become the conscious observer.
Mm-hmm.
When you can see out there right now, many, many people are being automatic reactors. And when you're an automatic reactor, that means you're triggered, you're blaming things on the external, and they're just going to keep coming back more and more and more. I journey with people, and many times they go, how come I keep attracting the same person in relationships?
Yeah.
I've been reading these books and I've been doing my work, and I'm like, have you really gone in? And I already know the answer because this is what I do almost every day of the week. They haven't cleared the wound or the trauma or done the forgiveness. Because if they had, they wouldn't be magnetizing that to them. So this is really, really key. And to me, this is the most valuable journeying on the planet because there is no way around it. And if we want to step into 5D
Mm-hmm.
and beyond, then here's a way to explain it. 5D, everything is all around us. It's not, a lot of times I use my hand, I'm animated, I'm a hyper dude. I love energy. And, I'm excited about this because to me, this is when people go, oh my God, that just clicked. And when it clicks, it changes your life because once you see a program, you can never unsee it.
Mm-hmm.
It might come back once or twice and you might have to practice it. That's okay. But once you see it, you start to dismantle it. But you have to see it in order to dismantle it, or the ego will justify it. And then you'll hang around with friends like in the beauty shop and they'll go, yeah, I can't stand him either. He's, they'll gossip and they'll all talk about their same triggers and their same wounds that they're holding on to. And this is why it's very key who you surround yourself with.
Oof, yes. Yes.
Who are you hanging out with? People that mirror you and love you, or people that are like, it's a judge fest? Really key, because you're going to either start attracting higher timelines based on, the top 5 people that you're around or whatever. So when you begin to do this journeying, a lot of times people will fall out of your life, but it doesn't mean you just have to disown your family and everything, because usually people sounds weird to say like us. I don't mean like we're anything, but the black sheep or whatever, where nobody in our family understands and they're all still watching the television or whatever. Okay, no big deal. It's coming. The television is going to be exposed very soon. And there's incredible things happening in the US where I'm from. It's going down, and we came here for this. So I think that was a lot.
That was awesome.
One of my things, I try and give people the whole download because I want them to have an aha moment, and I want them to go, oh, because otherwise this is just another talk and it's just 2 people talking. And, so I'm really honored that you had me on here. And so what else have we got?
Okay.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
Or anything from you?
Yeah, I have another question for you. So I think two of the biggest things that, people want to know about is love, like relationships, and money. So my question is, how to create more abundance in your life? Like, how do you align that with your energetic field?
Because I was really, as I stated a little bit earlier, I don't use this word ever now, but I was struggling. My dad died when I was 7 in a plane crash, and my mom, who's amazing, but she only had so much money. And I grew up with my 2 sisters, one older and one younger. I was in the middle. I didn't have a dad, and my mom was worried about money and how am I going to take care of my kids? And and like I said, my uncle had 8 kids, and that's a lot to take care of financially. So I was just constantly mirrored lack. And then you've got the television and everything talking about money's scarce and everything. So that's the program I was running. And even though I mentioned I bought all these books, I was doing two-handed tapping, money comes to me easily and effortlessly. You know, I've spent probably close to $100,000 on books and 3-day seminars. And I'd go through the seminar and we'd be all pumped up for 3 days. And we get out on Sunday and we're high-fiving and hugging everybody. And then like a week or two later, I'm right back because they didn't teach me how to go in and clear these programs. Mm-hmm. So here's the big thing around money. You've got to understand that you're never going to attract more than you believe. And this is why I talk about, do you truly believe, and are you willing to get playful with the word unlimited? Because we're only limited by our belief system. That's why it's important to crush and just dismantle the whole belief system. It's a prison. It really is. Even if you go, well, I believe in love, and okay, love's great. But the 99.99% of the belief system is a prison. You know why? Because if you believe something, let's say, okay, this is one belief right here. Okay. Well, what about, look at the universe back there. Look at all those infinite timelines and possibilities. If you can imagine it, it already exists. It's not in the future. And this is really key to get. I'm going to hit my Tibetan bell. This is really key to get. Nothing is in the future. Mm-hmm. It's a trick of the slowed down 3D so we can experience this without everything just blasting us at once. Mm-hmm. And so everything's slowed down. But if you can imagine something, it already exists. It's not like out there waiting to be put together at the factory or whatever. No, it exists. If you can think it, it exists. So the only thing that would keep anything from coming into our reality is aligning our frequency 100%. So you know, when we journeyed together, we went through and we did the inner healing, the inner child stuff. We started to consciously create your day. We started to dismantle the belief system. And you've got to see whatever it is that you desire. Desire is kind of like in the future, but I'm just saying this to explain this. You have to see it as here now. Yeah. It's right now. You don't go, I'm trying, I'm going to, I'm working on, because the subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. So it either goes, it's here now, or it's not. And if it's not, it's not. So this is so key, and it took me over 50 years to figure this out. And I tried, and weak word, I tried and tried and tried, and I worked hard. It wasn't until I really, really got clear when I was downloading what became the book was it's all frequency and vibration. Now, I had heard that before, and people can go, yeah, it's all frequency and vibration, man. Keep it high. But that's great to talk about, and you can call yourself a light worker, but if you have not cleared the inner beliefs, you can't fake your way into attracting money. You've got to own it. So what does that mean? Well, it means that when your edge comes up, you have to catch it and feel it. So in the beginning, here's a great example, I think, one of the simplest ones I can think of. So you go to a restaurant, you get the bill, and you're like, okay, what should I tip? And I remember going, my gears are grinding. I want to give her a good tip. She was really nice, but and I'm all lack. I want to be cool and let her. That's all lack. It's all fear. It's all based on there's not going to be more, and I need to hold on to what I have. It's all a fear-based frickin' program. So you know what I started doing? I go, anytime I would do that, I double or triple the tip. Yes. I just give it away. I give it away. I'm like, I'm not going to be sucked in to that fear-based thing. And this is a big one because many people are like month to month. It's interesting that, people will say, I always pay my rent. But if they want to do a journey with me and they go, oh, I don't have any extra money. I'm like, isn't that interesting that you're making the exact same amount of money every month? You're paying your rent, and you have, most people I know go out and they drink on the weekends and they party and they go out to dinner. They do all this stuff, but they don't have any money to completely change their life forever. And so it's quite interesting. It's quite interesting. So that was a big program for me. And I just cleared it like 2 years ago. I was like, okay. And then I saw somebody came to me, and I had a price to do a monthly group a couple years ago. And one of my friends, who's a friend now, she wasn't when I met her, she was just somebody that saw me on Facebook. She went through my course and she goes, your course changed my life more than any other book or any other course or seminar I've ever gone to in 25 years. Thank you. I love you. And we got in tears together. It still makes me cry. And she said, I've been telling people about your course. A lot of my friends have money. They won't come and do your course because they think it's too cheap. They're used to, and I went, oh my God, it's all relative. The people that make money really easily, they're like, money just comes to me. My parents were rich. My grandparents are rich. Money's easy. It's the rest of their life that's messed up, their relationships and all this other stuff. It's very interesting to watch and observe. So I figured out that, isn't that interesting? Some of these people are used to paying coaches $10 and $25 and $50,000 and even more. So it's like, oh, wow. My monthly rate for some people is a lot, but for other people, it's too little. And so the reason I'm sharing this is to get people to kind of look at how people see money in a different way. But the number one thing is to understand that there are no limitations. We are unlimited. And if you're not attracting what you desire, there's no way it's going to change unless you make a commitment to go in and go, okay, let me do some journaling around this. What is it? And usually the first thing somebody will say to me is, well, I only make so much at my job. And then the first thing I'll ask them is, why are you in your job? Are you doing what you love? And 9 times out of 10, they go, nope, I'm doing this because I don't know how to make money doing what I love. It's a huge belief. And they've set it up that way. So people that do art and all these incredible things that they're supposed to be doing because that's what excites them and that's what their soul came here to do. Hello. And you know, fortunately for me, I got injured. I got carpal tunnel. I went to school for graphic arts. Then I got a job working for the Yellow Pages, and they're like, you need to do 50 to 100 ads a day, and we're not going to bring you on permanent. We're going to keep you as a temp until you get to do enough. So 1 year into my thing, I'm still on. They didn't let me go. I saw them let other people go. And the first day I walked into that office, I didn't notice, but more than half the people were wearing wristbands. And I'm like, that'll never happen to me. 8 months later, I couldn't move either one of my arms. I couldn't even sleep at night because my wrists were hurting so bad. So I left. Then I went into another line of WORK, chasing the dangling carrot in an advertising agency. And then I got shingles on my chest, which were scars for working 18 hours a day. Oh, and they told me, if you just do this until we get the new business going, you might be making 6 figures. This is how they do it. They dangle it. And so here's what the deal is. Find a way to do what you love. Find a way to do what you love. And don't let anybody tell you that you can't do it. And if you want assistance, come journey with me. I will bust every story and every belief and every lie around that because I've had to do it for myself. And yes, you might have to continue to WORK for, a little bit part-time or whatever. But if you do what you love, you will magnetize and attract the right people. It'll come in because it's your divine birthright and it's why you came here. The problem is so many people think that security, which is 100% fake. Most of the people that I know that have a lot of money, they're more worried about hanging on to their money that they can't even enjoy it. And most people go, well, when I just get the house and the car and a little bit of money, I'll be happy. But they never are, because the program's running and they want to have more money, or it's such a program, and you've got to be able to see it. Yeah. And so these are the things that I find valuable to talk about. So
yeah. So we have a thank you. That was so awesome. We have a question from Edric.
Okay.
And he's asking, when did you first get your aha moment, Jeff? Like, what opened your mind?
Okay, great question. And this is key. This is the whole key. Nobody can really claim to be awake unless they see the #1 program. And as I stated, when I met my main mentor, Don Miguel Ruiz, in 2001, he got me to write down all my beliefs. And as I stated earlier in the talk here, none of them were mine. Yet what does the ego do? Because it's meant to protect you. So any information that comes in that challenges your belief system, it gets triggered. And if anybody says anything that goes against your belief system, you get triggered and then you judge. And judgment is the #1 biggest addiction on the planet. I wrote a whole chapter on it, chapter 5 in my book, and how to dismantle it. Because until you see it, you will continue to be a judger, and you will attract more of what you judge over and over and over and over. So you've got to see that the belief system is a prison. Yeah. It's a trap. Because as I started to say earlier, and sometimes I weave around, but let's say this is a belief right here, okay? So this is a belief that I'm hanging on to. There's only so much, or, this person's right and this person's evil, or whatever it is. Well, look out there at all those possible beliefs. So you're going to hold on to one? Well, what's that one doing? It's blocking, if you're holding on to it, it's blocking all these infinite possibilities. And I mean infinite. I mean infinite. When I say we're unlimited, we are unlimited. But do you really believe that you're unlimited? Because most people don't. This is why we've been hijacked and been able to be kept so small. We are gods.
Yes.
And it's not an ego thing to say that you're a god. You are it. You're all of it. Yes. Some people just can't get behind that. I mean, I grew up in Catholic school, as I talked about. I was an altar boy in church till 9th grade. I mean, the programming is heavy. Pray to God that he'll save you and help you, and give your money away to hope that, you'll be a good little boy, and, God will smile on you. That is a satanic inverted program. And if that triggers you, maybe that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because the Vatican is based on child sacrifice and satanic worship. It's a program. It's evil. And you can research it. It's really easy to find. And that's all being exposed right now. But so have to be able to see the belief system. So I hope that answers your question. What would be a good exercise? I mean, the exercise is just to see that none of my beliefs are mine. Mm-hmm. I mean, you can hang on to the two that I hung on to. Love is the answer in every situation. Love and forgiveness. And I am an unlimited, truly unlimited being. Everything else I let go of because they block other incredible things from coming in. And if you understand this and you can take this in and begin to play with it and watch your words and watch what you say and watch when you talk about lack, or you have a belief of that's not enough, or I can't afford that, or whatever. That's your one moment to catch it before the ego tries to convince you why you can't, because it'll always try and keep you small and protect you, not because it's really evil. It's just because it was taught to do that. So is that helpful? Do you have anything else around that? Anything up for you?
I think that was it for Edric. Last topic that I would love to conquer with you is just to quickly talk about 5D, and just like how could people enter that frame of mind more, and what is 5D? Like, what's happening right now after December 21st? Like, what's going on?
Okay, great. Right. This is a good one too, because it touches on what is 5D, how do we get
Yeah.
there and stay there? So right now, okay, as I mentioned before, everything's around us. 3D, 5D, 1 million D, whatever. I don't know. I know nothing. That's a really good place to be at, to know nothing. And that way, you don't have to attach or defend anything. You're just like, okay, that's your opinion, whatever, whatever. You don't need to argue. You don't need to correct people. That's the ego. That's the trigger. So becoming the observer. So when we talk about these different dimensions, they're just frequencies. Whoops, almost kicked over my light. So they're frequencies. So 3D would be, best way I can describe it in simple terms would be, what we're in, there's love here. And we're probably going in between 3D and 5D, up and down. If we're really happy and loving, we're vibrating in 5D. There's no like, you don't see the doorway and all of a sudden it just shifts. It's slowed down. So we don't see the timelines that are happening just like that, faster than the speed of thought, but they're happening. And it's almost like the television where you don't see the 30 frames going by every second. They're just going. So this is all just vibrating, and we're just having trillions of chemical reactions in our mind right now. And we're only seeing like 1% of the spectrum with our eyes. Did you know that? It's incredible. It's really mind-boggling when you really see what's kind of going on in different ways. It's fascinating. So it's all frequency and vibration. So 3D, when I talk about repeating and staying stuck in 3D, how they do that is through the television and the disinformation in science and history. 99% of it's fake. And so the television, right now, people wouldn't be wearing masks all around the world if it wasn't for the power of the television. I unplugged like 25 years ago. I knew it was lies all the time. It's all fear 24/7. And you may have seen the video where they pop up 2 newscasters on the screen, then they pop up two more all over the world, and they fill the whole screen with all these different broadcasts coming in from all around the world, and they sync it up, and they're all reading the same exact script at the same time. Tonight's news, fear, 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 fear. You can tell, it's obvious. They're all being fed what to say. So these people are deceivers, whether they know it or not, and they're taking the money. But here's the key. 3D is like judgment, fear, doubt, shame, guilt, unwillingness to forgive, lack of money, lack of good looks. I need to buy things to look good. We all have these programs running. That's why mirror work is so important. And it's part of the course. And it's the one thing that most people shy away from. Getting in that mirror and going, I love you. And the ego goes, well, you're getting more gray hair and I don't want you. I love you. And you don't leave the mirror until you love yourself. Because if you leave it before you love yourself, you're running those programs and they're just running. And guess what? They're keeping you in 3D. So it takes practice. Don't let it overwhelm you. Don't let it's little by little you start to dismantle this stuff. But I take people through the process and in a very short amount of time. And once you see the program and begin to dismantle it, it shifts everything in your life and relationships. And there's some people that will never, ever understand this their entire life. And they might have to come back and do it again. And we've probably all been here, maybe thousands of times, and had to do it. But this time that we came here to wake up, and everything is here to support us in it. So 3D is the lower repeating vibrations. I'll finish with this. Think of it like this. The biggest addiction on the planet in 3D is judgment. In 5D, judgment doesn't exist. It can't, because it's a lower frequency. So judgment, shame, guilt, projecting, lack of money, it can't exist in 5D. So the invitation is to get to the point where we go in and we clear all these programs, we look at them. And if a memory comes back or a trigger of, oh, I only have so much money this month, it's okay. Just notice it. Notice it and go in and go, okay, I'm still holding a little piece of that. The matrix is still, it's still affecting me a little bit. I just got pulled down into 3D. And then you just come back and go, nope, I am, or I have You know the mantra, I have, meaning I've manifested in this already in my life, not I'm going to. Because again, subconscious only knows how to take direct orders. So if you go, I'm going to manifest this, or I'm going to do this. I mean, in 3D, we have to take some steps sometimes. We start our business, we take the next step, we do advertising, whatever it is you want to do. However, in the mind, you must see it as already done, and do that every day when you create your day in the morning. And I have everybody do it when they're still laying on their pillow. And the reason why is because if you don't, the 50 to 80,000 thoughts start running again. And now you're pulling 3D with you, the past, just like Santa Claus bringing in a big sack of your past with you. And so it's really key to see this. It's totally key. Because in every moment, if you want to be honest, like close your eyes. Okay, so right now it's a new moment. Nothing from the past is here. There's no lack, nothing, no ill health, nothing, unless you bring it in with your memory. So it's a game.
Yeah.
And the game is to undo the programming and dismantle the belief and heal and forgive anybody that you think ever harmed you, so you can operate on a higher frequency and then begin to only use words and thoughts and emotions that are in excitement. You see me get excited? It's time to go back to get like little kids.
Yeah.
When little kids are creating, they don't go, fuck, I'm trying to create a rocket ship. No, they go, I'm on a rocket ship. I'm flying to the moon. There's no limitations at all. None. And then that got hijacked through the programming of the school system, where they taught us what to think instead of how to think. I can see her breathing. Take a deep breath. Let that stuff go. See, this is what we do. We feel this stuff and we hold it all in. And that's how I got, like, tight neck and tight back and all this stuff, because we're holding frequencies. So it's very, very key to clear this stuff. And sometimes we might need to cry. Crying is very healing.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
one of the most healing things. But so many people, I get on calls with people, like the first call, and I go right to the wound. And I see them start to tear up. And guess what they do every time? They wipe their tears away and they go, I'm sorry. And I'm like, what? Let's cry. Don't apologize to me. That's coming up to be cleared. You've been holding on to that for decades. So the key is to either cry, or to sometimes I have people kneel down in front of their mattress and stack pillows and pound it out and get that anger out if they were abused, or because it has to move. If we don't clear it, those frequencies are in our body and they can harm every cell. They can create dis-ease. Yeah, we cannot be holding any of that stuff in our body, or we can really have some adverse effects. So really, really key stuff here. I hope people are getting the download.
Yes,
and,
yes.
Understanding this.
Yeah, so really just wanted to ask and clarify. So in simple terms, 5D means being in ecstasy state every moment.
It would probably be unrealistic in the beginning to be able to be in ecstasy every moment. Especially right now, there's a lot of people out there that might be kind of being forced to wear masks and stuff. So the best way to approach it is to commit every day to being in gratitude or excitement or compassion and kindness, because those are the higher frequencies. Those are magnets. Find something to be grateful for. If you're even locked down in your house right now and they're telling you that you should be wearing a mask while you're in the shower, I mean, something ridiculous like that, while you're having sex, it's so mind-boggling ridiculous right now that people can't see it. It's like, and it's just going to keep ramping up until people go,
yeah,
oh my God, I can't deny it. We've been bamboozled to the 10th power. Everybody just went, we're not going to wear a mask anymore. The whole house of cards would crumble. Yeah, you might get a fine.
Yeah.
Don't pay it. Whatever. I mean, right now, people are enslaved. And I'm not saying that to make anybody feel less than or to piss them off, but the only reason people are wearing masks is because of the television and because they're in fear. Most people know it's bullshit. Okay, so anyway, getting back to how do we stay in 5D? We teach ourselves to operate in the higher frequencies. If you're not excited right now, you're running a program. You might be injured. Like I smashed my foot in my motorcycle about a week ago and I was hurting, but I saw it. It's like the whole invitation is to understand that your vibration is a magnet and it's pulling things in all the time. If you have to voice something or whatever and it brings you back down into 3D, that's okay. Just notice it and go, okay, let's get back to being in gratitude. Even if I'm broke, even if I'm wearing a mask, I can still go, wow, what could I find to be grateful for? Okay, well, right now there's trillions of cells that are unconditionally loving on me. They're purifying my blood. They're allowing me to breathe. They're processing all these thoughts. I can see things with my eyes. I'm alive. I mean, there's always something to be grateful for. And if your ego tells you right now, well, that's not enough, then your program is deeper.
Yeah.
It's a choice.
Ooh.
Look at all this incredible technology. We're talking through thin air all over the world. You can connect with like-minded people all over the world that will lift you up, that will mirror you, that will hold space for you. But when people come into my space, I'm not going to go, yeah, your life really sucks. I agree with you. Yeah. No. Anybody that hangs out with me and anybody I hang out with, there's no low vibe. If you're feeling bad, we're going to mirror and we're going to go through it and we're going to heal it and we're going to clear it. That's the new light worker, new age. There's no more hanging on to stories of lack, fear, what they did to me. No, that is 3D trap matrix and you'll never get out. So surround yourself with like-minded people. Anya's got a great group. I do Facebook Lives every Monday and Wednesday in the United States at 6 p.m. Pacific and 9 p.m. Eastern. There's tons of free stuff. I've got a YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening. I think you have a YouTube channel. There's just no reason to live in an excuse anymore, because if that's your choice, then you're just stating that instead of choosing to find something to be grateful for and raise my vibration, I'm just pissed off enough to where I'm just going to keep running the same story. And the ego loves that until you switch the ego over to be your ally, and your ego's like, we aren't going to focus on any of that shit anymore. We did 4 decades of that. We're not doing that anymore. And so in the beginning, I have everybody name their ego. My ego's name is Larry. Larry used to focus on fear, triggers, judgments, doubts, worry, less than, shame, guilt, all the stuff I was carrying. And then I named him, and I get everybody to name their ego so they can start to see Larry or whoever it is when he pops in with that same program. And then I give people the tools to dismantle this stuff quick. And it's the most life-changing thing that I know of. There is nothing quicker that I know of. I mean, I've tried hypnosis. I've done a lot of different things, but this is it. You can go do ayahuasca and plant medicines here at the retreat center. We do that here. But I know people that have done 30 ayahuasca journeys and they still haven't gone in and healed the wound. The plant won't do it for you. It'll just show you. You have to go in and do it. So there is no way around. It's just, hey, let's do this. I'm ready to heal. I'm ready to forgive. And I'm ready to see the program and start dismantling them. And if you commit to doing that, your life will never be the same. And you'll be able to go out and help other people do this. And conscious awareness is the only game in town. There is nothing more important. Yes, love is the answer, but conscious awareness is the only game in town, because there's unlimited levels of conscious awareness. There is no, oh, I'm there already, I'm done. If you're done, you wouldn't be on the planet any longer.
Right.
So there is nothing more important than raising your conscious awareness. And in order to do that, we clear out any program, any wound, any judgment, any doubt, any of that stuff, and life becomes truly magical. But it's not really magic, because it's the law. It's the law of attraction. It's vibration and frequency. Our nature is love. Love attracts nothing but good and abundance. There is no lack. And our journey right now is to just go back to that and to have fun while we're doing it. And the more that you have fun and get excited about, okay, let's dismantle some programs and let's hang out with people that are doing that, then you're having fun instead of going, fuck, I hate this. I'm going through the dark night of the soul. This sucks. I see people on Facebook every day claiming how hard it is, how difficult it is. And they're just attracting more and more and more, and they don't even see it and they don't even notice it. And I do my best to go in and gently mirror them sometimes with the words they're using. And most of the time they're like, thank you. Sometimes they're like, they get triggered and they don't like, their ego doesn't like Jeff coming in and mirroring them. So I'm careful not to overstep my bounds. So usually I journey with people that reach out to me and they go, I'm ready, let's do it. And that's who I journey with. But I don't hold back on my lives either. It's like, this is, you want to do it, this is what you do. I don't hold back. I give away all my tools. And, you know, because I wouldn't be walking the walk if I go, well, I can't really share all my tools on the live because I'm afraid then they won't come into my course and exchange the exchange. No, that's the program. So here's the key. The more you give, the more you get. And you've probably heard this before, but if you're running a program of lack, you don't believe it. And I didn't believe it either. I knew in my heart it was true, but I was still like, well, if I give away, I've only got so much and I need to pay my rent, and fear. You just have to bust it little by little by little and hang out with people that are like, nope, I'll mirror you. And so, yeah, sometimes you have to invest in somebody that'll show you how to get there, like I did, and save you 20, 30, 40, 50 years, or maybe a couple lifetimes. So here's one thing I'll leave people with. If you want to continue, I'm happy to continue because I love this, but you can attract anything into your life if you just go, I'm going to believe it. Even if I don't totally believe it because I haven't seen it before, I'm going to start to envision it and smile like it's already here. Okay, so let's say you want to journey with Jeff, or you want to manifest a car or the right job or whatever. See it is already here. Anytime you don't see it and there's a reason why, you're anchoring that in and you're staying stuck in 3D. So the key is to get excited and go, okay, that amazing person's in my life. I have money flowing in and out of my life. I just give it away. I tried to stack a bunch of money for rent. Well, who wants to die with a bunch of money in the bank? That's a lack program. Just have fun. I'm not saying don't put money in the bank or anything, but I don't even have life insurance. It's a program.
Yeah.
I'm not saying don't get any if you want, if you got kids and you know you want to make sure they're taken care, whatever. But I'm talking about programs here. I think you can see that. You know, so just notice them and begin to create your day every day and realize when you have a less than thought or frequency that you are anchoring, you're magnetizing more of that. Every time you have a judgment, you're not fixing the world, you're magnetizing more of what you judged. It's a magnet. Every thought, every word is a magnet. And if you take nothing else away from this, write that down. And I would invite people to come back and watch this replay on your page or on your YouTube channel. A lot of keys
Oh my
here.
gosh.
And
so many good ones.
It's not, if you do this, if my teacher would have taught me this, I would have figured it out 17, 18 years sooner. He didn't tell me how to go in and dismantle the programs, but he did open the door when he said, check out your belief system. And I went, oh my God, it's not even mine, but everybody's reacting to their belief system. It's the biggest program on the planet that keeps everybody trapped and triggered and in judgment.
Yeah.
You've got to see it to get out. So for those 5 people, if there's 5 people on this call, you got the golden download of all time that possibly that I paid over $100,000 in 25 years of my life to figure out. And so, you know, it's really all there is to it.
I feel like my awareness just increased tenfold just by being on this call. That's just me speaking for myself. Like, this was so amazing. Such a delight.
So happy to come and share.
Yeah. So
because it really is. It's the only game in town. And this is what we're all doing together. And you can see certain people are fighting it. And they're actually supporting the dark people in the United States. I'm sitting back here in Thailand just watching it. I'm from California. I thought California was awake. Now, there are some awake people everywhere. I'm not, but I don't know. It seems to me like there's a lot of people that are asleep. And, so the good news is it's happening. It's going to be exposed very soon. Many people are just going to get shocked into having to wake up. Because a lot of these really horrible people have already been executed. There are clones walking around. I mean, it's like, if you would have told me this 5 years ago, even though I'd been down the rabbit hole a lot, I'd be like, really? There's going to be clones? Or maybe they're not a clone. Maybe they're a lookalike, like with Biden or whatever. It's not the same guy. You can tell. I mean, it's the same thing with Obama and Hillary. So anyway, that's another rabbit hole. I'm not trying to trigger anybody if that triggers you. You're pro Biden.
We'll talk about. We'll go down that rabbit hole another time.
Frequency. Yeah. Some people are freeing you, and then look at it this way: whoever the media hates, is probably the best person.
Yes.
I'll leave you with that, because that is probably truer words were probably never spoken.
Well, I have one final request for you and the good 6 people on here. If we could do a quick meditation session. I know you have something really special that you could play for us.
Okay. Yeah.
Just like a parting message. But yeah.
Okay. So I just got this Native American flute from New Mexico, shipped to me over here in Thailand. It smells so great. See if you guys can smell that. It's cedar. I love to have fun. So since we're on this call, seven people, and whoever might watch this, because everything's frequency and vibration, and when we raise our frequency, we're affecting the collective, whether they can feel it or not. So every time you have a loving thought, a happy thought, and you go, man, I came here for this, the greatest time in history, and everybody's waking up, and there's going to be med beds and free energy. It's all coming. People aren't going to having to go to WORK for 65 years anymore to become what? Retired. It's a spell. To mean to recycle it. Tired. You know what that means. It's one of the most insidious programs ever. So what I'm going to invite people to do is we're going to drop into our heart. We're going to start off loving and giving gratitude to every single one of these trillions of cells that are consciously aware, and they've been loving on us unconditionally since we've been in the womb. If that doesn't blow your mind and make you smile and feel magical, I don't know what else to say. So we're going to do it. I'm going to turn on a little bit of reverb here on my recording program, and we're just going to imagine all that love going to every cell. And then we're going to imagine a wave of it going out from our heart and just circling not only around the globe, but going out into the galaxy for all of the benevolent beings that are cheering us on, that are loving on us right now, that are parked in spaceships out there right now, whether you believe in that or not. I do personally, although I've never been on one yet that I know of. But so what we're going to do is we're just going to do this for a few minutes. For a couple minutes, and just be love into ourselves, and know when you're doing that you are becoming you're already a magnet, but right now you are magnetizing, and we're going to amplify the frequency. And this is what I do every morning and throughout the day. And this is the key, because if not, you're just running the same programs. And I'm not saying nobody out there isn't running a good program of love and stuff, but for the most part, we're running 50 to 80,000 thoughts a day. And most of those have been proven 80% are negative underneath. So this is the most empowering stuff that I know of on the planet. It's my absolute joy to do it. So let's do it. And let's have some fun while we're doing it. What we're going to do is we're going to start sending love to every cell first, and smile. And then here we go. Let me turn this up a little bit so you guys can hear it. Whoops, sorry. So imagine every one of your cells is being flooded with love. The vibration's going up. Anything that you desire, see it already here in your timeline, not in the future. See it and smile because you knew it. You knew this is how the dream worked. And then we're going to send all that energy out to everybody on the planet.
Thank you. Really quickly before we sign off, where can people connect with you?
Okay, thank you so much. Was that distorted or
That
did it
sounded
sound
beautiful.
okay? Because I can't.
I got goosebumps.
Okay. So people can contact me on my Facebook page, which is facebook.com/Jeff9Cloud, like Jeff number 9 Cloud. The website is portal2awakening.com. The book is available right now for half price through the first at portal2awakening.com/the book. I've also got a digital course where you can get the 4 PowerPoint trainings where I talk and I guide you through it with images and everything, and you will see the program. And it also comes with, the book comes with a PDF that you download. It's called a daily tracking sheet. So you track how many times you catch yourself every day. I give you the tools to do it. You fill it out at the end of the night. You start to see the programs, you write them in, and you start to dismantle this stuff like quicker than ever. This will be taught in schools very, very soon. And it will change people's lives in the most incredible, incredible ways. So it's amazing. And then I'll be back, doing my thing on Mondays and Wednesdays on my page on Facebook Live. So if you want to friend me or whatever you want to do, it's at 6 p.m. Pacific, like California time, and 9 p.m. Eastern, Monday and Wednesdays. And then I pop in all the time on Thursdays and Friday. I just do it because this is what I do when I'm not leading workshops and stuff here at Maladara. And if anybody wants to come to Thailand and check out Maladara, I'll post a link in the comments. It's incredible here. We've got a saltwater swimming pool. We've got a huge yoga shala right below the mountains. We've got a sound healing room where we do yoga, meditation, sound healing, plant medicine. We've got a vegetarian restaurant. We've got a sauna, a sweat lodge with showers and the swimming pool. And I mean, it's just so tropical here. It's so incredible. Thailand is just an incredible heart-based land. It really is amazing. So, and if anybody wants to reach out, send me a private message or go to the Portal to Awakening. It explains the whole transformational journey that I take people through. It details out what to expect, what you'll receive, how it works. And not only do I do calls with people once a week that are recorded, so you can go back and watch them, I'm in contact with people every day. I'm like mirroring you every day, especially during the first couple of weeks when the programs are coming up and we're clearing the wounds and anything else. It's truly life-changing, and it is such a blast to do because I get to watch people go, oh my God, I thought I was awake, but I'm seeing all these programs because the ego is tricky and it will convince you that you're right. You have to learn how to feel that frequency and know that, oh, that's the ego. That's a sticky defense program. And you've got to be able to see it to clear it. And there's nothing else. If we don't go in and do the process in this book or find another way to do it, we'll be in 3D. There's no way out. Yeah. And they set it up that way. So it's our time, and it's time to get excited. And what's going to happen? People say 2020 was such a horrible year. There were some challenges for those that were really deeply entrenched. And yeah, being locked down, that sucks by the dark ones. But 2020 was the greatest awakening year in recorded history so far. And it's only going to get better and better and better. So get excited, stay excited, and surround yourself with people that are doing this. You know, come on these lives on Monday and Wednesday. Immerse yourself in this stuff. Go watch the videos on my YouTube channel, Portal to Awakening. You know, the thing that's tricky is most of this stuff is free. So people don't, oh, it can't be that bad. That's the trick around money. And that's why you invest to go on the journey with me. But it's only like 1 month. It's it's priceless. So anyway, I intend that people got the download, and there's much more on my YouTube channel, and we get into this, and you can come and ask questions any Monday and Wednesday on the lives, and tune in to this woman here, Anya, because she has the tools and she's doing the same thing. And this is a safe space for the soul sisters to come in and be in a really safe space where you can talk about things that are coming up and not feel like everybody on Facebook's looking at you. You know, it's really powerful. So take advantage of that. And I look forward to seeing you guys out in the field. And thank you so much for hosting me. If you want to pop the links in for, you know, the book or the course or whatever, I'll drop them in your messenger or whatever, and you can put them in the replay or something for me if you want to. And just have an incredible rest of your evening or day for those of you that are in the UK and other countries. I mean, just know that we came here for this, and this is the most exciting time. The light has won. All I can say is trust with a capital T. Just trust. Hang in there a little bit longer. And no matter if you're locked down and you have to wear a mask, just be the observer. Don't get sucked in. Don't hold anger, hatred. Don't hold it. That's what they want you to do. Just observe and hold your frequency high and watch what happens in the next couple weeks and over the next couple months. You're going to be going, yeah, I came here for this. I knew it. Yeah.
So, thank you so much for your energy.
Remember to breathe really deeply and give love to every cell, because they're loving on you in every moment. And the more that you love on them, the more you magnetize more greatness in your life. It's a law. It's not just a theory. It's a law of frequency and vibration. It's the only game in town. And that's why I love to dance in these energies and share these tools, because it changed my life. I can't even imagine. I'd be dead. If I hadn't met my teacher and figured this out, I probably would have committed suicide, only because I was like, there has to be more to this life than pain and suffering. There has to be more. And somewhere deep inside, I didn't know there was, but I hoped there was. And the only reason I didn't leave the planet was because I didn't want to hurt my mom and my friends. Otherwise, I would have been gone a long time ago. And then I figured this out, and I was like, oh, they don't tell you this. Well, now it's time. So this will change your life if you apply this stuff in ways that you can't even see right now. Because most people just go, well, if I had a bunch of money and everything, I'd be happy. It's way beyond that. That's nursery school. We're still in nursery school. It's, what are your gifts here? What have you come here to share? Your art, your music, your wisdom, your whatever it is. That's unlimited in an unlimited way. Write that word down, unlimited. If you think you're limited in any way, you're running the program, and it's time to go in and dismantle that. So thank you so much, Anya. Lots of love to you and everybody that hung on here, and for those that watch and share these, because I don't know anybody that doesn't need to hear this.
Dude, I mean, this is so crucial, especially for right now, for a lot of people. Like, just to have that reminder. Yeah.
The programs are strong, and they're being mirrored out there in 3D. And if you don't have a go-to system and your own program that you create your day and hold your frequency every day, and you come and check in and you catch the judgments and the triggers, because in the beginning, you know, you're going to have to start catching 100, 200, 300 judgments a day and start to track them. But the beauty is, once you start catching them, you'll start to dismantle them. You'll ask, what is this trying to teach me? And you'll see, oh, I'm still holding on to a wound or a trigger or whatever. So it works. It's the most powerful stuff I know of. So
you heard it here, folks. Tune in. Jeff Cloud, the man.
Be happy. And we're all just mirrors of each other. So, you know, if you're on here, you're supposed to be on here. And if anybody's watching the replay, you're supposed to get the download. And if it resonates, then practice it, because it'll change everything in your life and relationships. More than reading any book, because you've got to go in and dismantle the program. And once you do, everything will shift and you'll go, oh my God, why didn't they teach me that in school? Yeah. So
Ooh,
I'll leave you with that. Have
thank
an
you.
incredible day. Have an incredible rest of your evening. And happy all the days to everybody. What we're getting ready to step into, especially in the United States, I mean, it's going to be incredible.
Draining the swamp.
Yep. And a lot of people, when they finally get shocked into waking up and they see that almost everything they've been told is a lie, they're going to need people like us to support them and go, it's okay, we've been waiting for you.
You're in safe hands.
Don't go, I told you so. That's what the ego wants to do. That doesn't help anything. You're not awake if you go, I told you so. That's what Larry would want to do. But you just go, it's okay. We're here now. Let's rock this. Let's clear this stuff.
Beautiful.
We came here for this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Woo!
Took me a long time to figure that out. I'm never letting it go now. So much love to you.
Much
love.
love.
And I'll send you a couple links when we finish here, and we'll talk soon. Thanks, dear one.
Bye.
Everybody, keep
Peace.
rocking the